Thanks for being here. This is true crime and celebrity news. If true crime and live court trials and short videos your thing, with some celebrity news thrown in, please consider subscribing to my channel and also don't forget to hit the like button. If you enjoy the content, please check and make sure the notification bell is on. Have a wonderful day and see you in the next live.
Good evening, everybody. I'm back for the Tara Baker trial. I had part 1 earlier, and this is day 1, part 2. They have 2 witnesses, and then they called it a day, but I just wanted to kind of get the 2 witnesses done so that way I can start fresh tomorrow. Okay, let's get this going, and please remember to like, share, and comment.
It was locked. So it was pretty warm in there. So I took my glove off and I opened the door. I believe it had a deadbolt and then a regular lock. So I opened the door, and at that point, the lieutenant said, "Come over here." So I had the nozzle.
Okay. You had the nozzle. He said, "Come over here." Where did you go?
I went from the stove kitchen area across what was the living room to what we now know was her bedroom, and that door was closed also.
What happened next?
We tried to open the door, and it was locked. So the other firefighter that was with me, I think Doug actually kicked that door too. And, I said, when he kicks the door, it's going to roll out, because I knew it was what we call rolling. It was.
When you say it's going to roll out, what are your...
The fire. The fire's going to roll out, because when we rolled up, we could see it burning through the roof. So I knew it was pretty intense. So when he kicked the door, I opened the nozzle, what we call Z'd it. I Z'd it down, knocked the fire down, and then they said I hit it one more time just to kind of cool it down, and I had put my hand. We were just sitting there kind of watching it, make sure it didn't flare back up or flame up or whatever. And I always kept a big rubber band on my fire helmet, and I had a light stuck, up there in it. And I had my hand down on the floor, just kind of sitting there watching to see if it, it was smoke had banked all the way down in this room. And then I turned the light. When I turned my head, I looked down and I saw her at the foot of the bed. And
can you describe in detail what you saw?
There was a nude lady laying there. Almost looked like, you could tell she'd been in extreme heat. And she was also like a mummy, like she didn't look real. Her hair looked like her hair was intact, but it was.
So I know you said that she was on the floor. Do you recall how she was positioned?
She was positioned with her feet towards the door. Best I remember, we go in the door, the bed was to the left, and then she was at the foot of the bed, and then looked like the flames or the fire was on the bed.
Do you recall how her body was oriented, up, down, otherwise?
She was face up.
Upon discovering the body, what did you do next, sir?
Like I said, we were trained just to make sure it doesn't flame back up or anything. And so Steve and I were still in the room, on the floor. And the lieutenant, which was Doug, he was standing at the door behind us, and he said, "Y'all don't touch anything, just make sure it doesn't flame back up and back out. So that's basically what we did. We got it cooled down, and then we backed out.
And after backing out, did you, and when you say Doug, is that Doug Whitehead?
Yes, sir. He was the lieutenant on the seat that day. He was their supervisor, you might say.
And you mentioned Steve. Is that Steve?
Steve, yes, sir. He was a firefighter also. He and I were on the back of the truck. We had a driver of the truck. We had Doug was a supervisor, lieutenant, and then we had two firefighters, Steve Shellnut and myself, were on the back of the truck.
And after y'all backed out of the room, did you turn the scene over to the police?
Yeah, we called, I guess they called the chief and the assistant chief anyway. The shift commander was already there. So I guess they notified police, and, you know, it just kind of become chaos at that as everybody started showing up, and they wouldn't let us go anywhere. We had to stay there.
At any point, did you take notice of a screen to the back window in the house?
Yes, sir. When we got it cooled down, and I guess I was in shock. I just went to the back door because I had two small daughters. I went to the back door kind of trying to collect my thoughts and whatever, and there was a window to the left side of the door, and the screen, I can't say if it was laying in the yard or if it was leaned up against the house, but the screen had been tampered with. You could tell where it, like if you take a screwdriver and try to pop it out, you can tell where it had been bent. It had been tampered with.
Hang on just a moment, Your Honor. Mr. Freeman, those are all the questions I have for you. I have some questions.
Okay.
Cross-examination, Mr. Cruz.
Yes, ma'am. May I move the podium, please?
Of course.
Good afternoon, Firefighter Freeman. How are you today?
I'm great. How are you?
I'm doing well. Is it okay if I ask you a couple of questions?
Yes, sir.
You mentioned the back door to the home. I just want to make sure I'm clear on this point. When you opened the door, did you have to unlock the deadbolt and the bottom portion of the door?
With no glove on. Yes, sir.
Would it be fair to say that based on your examination of the home, the doors were locked and there was no evidence of forced entry?
That would be correct. No forced entry to the doors. Now, like I said, the screen on the window, it looked like it had been tampered with, but no, there was no forced entry to the door. No, sir.
Sure.
Okay.
Do you recall completing
Okay, so no forced entries to the doors, but the screen on the window was out, or whatever he just said. How quickly my brain forgot. Okay.
interview with firefighter report from January 19th, 2001?
The report that I had to write?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Would you agree, and if you don't know, you say you don't know, and I can show you. Would you agree that you were asked a question 29 in that report, were the doors locked when the first units arrived? Do you remember that question?
I really don't even remember the report you were referring to, I had to write a handwritten statement of what happened that day. Usually the supervisors make out the fire report.
Yes, sir. I am going to show you what I am marking as Defense Exhibit 1. Yes, sir. Thank you. Is it okay if I approach you?
Yes, sir.
Thank you.
Okay. Yes, sir. Were the doors locked when the first unit arrived? Yes, they were. Was any force of entry? I put no.
Yes, sir. You mentioned the window. I know that it's been 25 years since you responded to this scene. Do you recall what that window looked like at the time that you saw it?
It was could have been like a white, seemed like it was a white aluminum frame or vinyl window. It was 2 panes, top and bottom. Like I said, it was to the left of the back door.
Would you recognize that window if you saw it again?
Possibly.
I looked up the house today.
I'd like to show you what's being marked as Defense Exhibit 2 and Defense Exhibit 3. Thank you for your patience.
Yes, sir.
Thank you all for being here today.
And to make sure I have this correct, this window was to the, if I'm facing the back door, it would be to the right. Is that correct?
Left.
If I'm facing, well, let me,
If you're coming in the front door,
okay, it's to the left. Is that
the
right?
window is to the window is to the left of the door that's on the right.
Excellent. I'm going to show you what's been marked as Defense Exhibit 2 and 3. Your Honor, may I approach?
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Do you recognize that image?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Is that a fair and accurate depiction of the window as you viewed it on the day you responded to 160 Fun Drive?
Is this the way I found it? Is that what you're asking? I mean, is this?
Correct. Well, do you recognize?
I can't honestly say. I remember, as you can look at this and tell, it looks like it's been tampered with or whatever, but I can't honestly say that the screen was outside, was not on the window. I mean, over 26 years, I had numerous calls, and I can't 100% say that screen was off. I'm pretty sure it was, but I can't sit here and say, I know it was tampered with because I remember seeing this.
Yes, sir. Did you make any notations in the report I provided you? I believe that was Defense Exhibit 1, if I'm not mistaken, about the window screen.
No, sir.
Would you have any reason to say that those images have been altered in any way?
No, sir.
I'd like to show you Defense Exhibit 4. May I approach, Your Honor?
Yes, sir.
Do you recognize the fence exhibit 4?
Yes, sir.
Okay, you recognize the fence exhibit 4 as the screen at 160 Fun, well, the screen in the window at 160 Fun Drive, is that correct?
Yes, sir.
Okay, is that a fair and accurate, the fence exhibit 2 through 4, are those fair and accurate descriptions of?
Yes, that's, looking at this is where I got the idea that it had been tampered with.
Yes, sir. Your Honor, I would move to admit defense exhibit 2 through 4 into evidence.
Any objection? They are admitted.
May I approach, Your Honor?
Yes, sir.
May I publish any?
May.
So,
I want to thank you so much for your heroism. Those are my questions.
Any redirect by the state? May this witness be excused. Any objection?
No, ma'am.
You are free to go, sir.
Thank you.
You may call your next witness.
Doug Whitehead?
Could you get Doug Whitehead, please?
Doug Whitehead.
so if the doors were locked, then there would be no other way for him to get out but the window. But what would be his motive?
Sir, if you could raise your right hand, please. Do you swear or affirm your testimony in the matter pending before the court should be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God? So help you God.
I do.
Can you state your name, please, and spell it for our court reporter?
Doug Whitehead, DOUGWHITEHEAD.
Good afternoon, Mr. Whitehead. If you could please, sir, tell the jury what it is that you did for a living.
I was a firefighter, sergeant in Athens, Clark County Fire Department.
How long did you work for the Athens, Clark County?
Almost 35 years.
When did you start and when did you stop?
Started January 1st, 1977 and stopped sometime in January of 2011.
Over the course of your career with Athens, Clark County Fire Department, did you work in a number of different stations around town?
Oh, yes.
Specifically in January of 2001, do you recall where you were stationed back then?
Station 5 on Whit Davis Road.
Mr. Whitehead, on January the 19th of 2001, do you remember being dispatched to a house fire at 160 Fawn Drive?
Yes, I do.
Is that in Athens, Clark County?
It is.
Just real quick, to get from Station 5 to Fawn Drive, how would you get there?
Well, we turn left out of the fire station, go to the intersection at Lexington Road, turn left. Believe it's the next road to the right is Cooper Road, and Fawn Drive would be off of that.
So when you turn onto Lexington from Whit Davis, are you turning left as
Turn
towards
left
town?
at the red light towards Athens.
Do you remember about what time of day that call came out?
11-ish, I believe.
Describe, if you can, sir, what you personally observed when you arrived at 160 Fawn Drive.
Smoke coming from the rear of the apartment.
And so what did you do next?
I told the guys on the back to pull an 1 3/4 attack line, and we proceeded to the front door of the building.
What did you observe when you got to the front door?
It was locked.
What happened next?
Kicked it in.
What did you observe once that front door had gotten kicked in?
Smoke in that room. In the right rear corner of that room, to the best of my knowledge or remembrance, it is like one big room, kitchen and living room kind of combined, and in the right corner was a red glow.
And did you and the other firefighters go to investigate the source of that red glow?
We did.
What was it?
It was an electric stove with all four eyes on the top on high, and the knobs pulled off and placed on the countertop.
What did you do upon observing the stove being turned on with the eyes, or with the knobs removed?
I didn't personally do it myself, but the knobs were put back on the stove and it was turned off.
Did you then turn your attention towards locating the source of the fire?
Yes.
Describe exactly what you did next, sir.
From the stove, we would have kind of turned left, and there was a hallway, short hallway, a door at the end of that hallway, a door to the left, a door in front, and a door to the right. All three of those doors were locked. So we were pretty sure that the fire was in the room to the right, and it was locked, and we kicked that door in.
And what happened when you kicked the door in?
So
We found the fire, source of the fire, and we also found Miss Baker.
We'll get to that in a minute, but I want to talk about
key or no keys, if the person had keys or no keys, it doesn't matter, because regardless, her door was locked, so they had to go out the window, whether it had been him, the boyfriend, or just somebody random.
countering the fire and what you and other
The fire had broken through the roof, which means that it burned through the sheetrock, up into the attic, through the insulation, through the plywood, and the asphalt shingles on the top. So you could actually see daylight through that hole.
Good time to ask. Do you remember what the weather was like that day? If you don't, that's it.
I don't really remember.
Okay.
It seems maybe cloudy, overcast, and maybe cold, but I couldn't tell you for sure.
And so, what do you specifically recall about the discovery of the body in the bedroom?
I remember seeing Tara or Miss Baker at the foot of the bed, and what I remember is like her hair was wet and a comb had been run through her hair.
How was she positioned, if you remember?
I believe she was laying on her back.
Mr. Whitehead, do you recall, in fighting the fire in the bedroom, what would be the result, or what was the result, if you remember, of actually having to extinguish the fire to the structure of the bedroom?
From what I remember, the fire was primarily up overhead, not that much fire. So we basically would just hit it, and just a couple of turns of the nozzle, it was extinguished.
And after doing that, were you able to view a potential source or origin of the fire?
Yes.
What was that?
An Afghan, what I consider an Afghan, like was crocheted. I'm not sure if that's crocheted, knitted, was placed onto that stove that was, all four eyes were open, on high, ignited, carried to the bedroom and thrown on the bed, and remnants of that Afghan were on the stovetop in places where it dripped on the floor around to the bedroom.
And so, what was the primary area of the fire in the bedroom, if that makes sense?
The bed, yeah.
Um, you mentioned that you found the deceased, Miss Baker, at the foot of the bed, lying on her back. Do you remember anything else about her condition when you first saw her?
Yes. I know some type of electrical cord. Not really sure where that came from, but around her neck.
Once you and the other firefighters had gotten the fire under control, what did you do at that point?
We backed out to preserve evidence. Once we realized there was Miss Baker was in the room, we backed out to try to preserve as much evidence as we could after making sure the fire was extinguished.
Mr. Whitehead, do you recall anything about the back window, the kitchen window to the house?
I think that the screen was taken out of the window and propped against the back of the house, but I cannot tell you that for 100%.
When you say you think that, is that your best recollection?
Yes, yes.
Overruled.
That's
Oh, of course.
All right,
Mr. Whitehead, I don't have any further questions for you, defense tonight.
All right.
Mr. Cruz.
Yes, ma'am. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon, sir.
My name is Attorney Ahmad Cruz, represent Mr. Faust. Is it okay if I ask you a couple of questions?
Absolutely.
In regards to the screen, would it have been the fire department's practice to find a screen outside the house and put it back in the window?
Would not have been our practice, no.
Okay, is that a practice that you're aware of with any agency that you've worked with?
Other than the fire department, I wouldn't be
Sure.
sure about their practices.
Would it be fair to say that the front door was deadbolt locked when you
Yes.
found it?
Yes.
And I believe you say this on direct. There was heavy smoke and flames coming out of the corner of the house. Is that right?
That's right.
Were those was the bedroom door locked? Do you recall?
Yes.
Okay. Was the bathroom door connected to that bedroom lock?
Yes. And so was the door to the left.
You gained entry into that room by kicking those doors in. Is that correct?
That's right.
And just to make sure I'm clear, that's the front door you had to kick in, the bedroom door you had to kick in, and the bathroom door that you had to
That's correct.
Do you recall completing a firefighter, Athens Clark County Fire Department interview with firefighter report?
No, but I'm sure I did.
Yes, sir. Would you have any reason to disagree that you placed in your report that there was no evidence of forced entry?
I'm sorry, could you repeat that?
Sure. Would you have any reason to disagree with the statement that in your report you put that there was no evidence of forced entry?
Before our arrival?
Correct.
Yes.
Those are all of my questions for you. Thank you.
Any redirect, Mr. Bolden?
There you are.
May this witness be excused?
No objection. Stay here.
Any objection, Mr. Cruz?
No objection, Your Honor.
You're free to go, sir.
Free to leave?
You are, sir.
Thank you. Thank you.
You may call your next. May.
Her and that microphone are going to drive me crazy. I don't know why it makes so much noise. I'd like to thank everyone for coming in. If you're in the replay, don't forget this is day one. It's part 2. because I had to stop to do the verdict on the
All right, ladies and gentlemen,
Brendan
we've just discussed amongst ourselves kind of best
trial.
timing, and I'm going to let you all go a little bit early today. I know Dr. Waller has to get to a broken pipe, and we've talked about that. So I'm going to release you today and ask you to return back here tomorrow morning at 9 o'clock, where we are going to resume the trial of this case. My instructions that I've given you, of course, continue to apply. Please don't talk about the case, anything you may have heard in court today with anybody. Don't do any research. Please don't go on the internet and do any independent research or analysis or anything like that about this case. Does anybody have any questions for the court about that? Very good. I appreciate your patience today. We got, started a little bit late and we took a late lunch. I will try to do a normal lunch every day between 12 and 12:30, just so you're aware. We have some snacks for you all in the jury room and drinks. If there's anything that you need while you're waiting for us in the jury room, you need to let the court know. We'll be happy to try to get it for you. Other than that, I'm going to release all of you. See you tomorrow morning at 9 o'clock. Thank you.
All right, well, y'all, I don't want the next video to start. I got socked by someone yesterday. All right, well, thank you so much for coming back. I truly appreciate it. I just wanted to make sure that I'm fulfilling my obligation, that I started this and I'm going to finish it. Just justice for Tara. And y'all have a wonderful evening. And I'm going to try to find some videos on this case and find out more on Ms. Baker. I just feel there's more to her story than I just found out about this case today, to be honest. I was going to do the Floyd Galloway, but I couldn't find that trial. And I think maybe they're still in the juror. So finding the jurors. So maybe that's why. So we're on this one. The judge said 2 weeks, could be 4 to 6. So I'm in for the long haul. I'm here. We'll be every day. I'm starting, I think, 10:30 tomorrow because I'm not real sure what time this is going to start. I'm not sure what time they're going to start. And I know George is an hour ahead of me. So let me check and see if they have the live up. Yes. So the live is up already. And they're starting at I can't see the time. I hate that. Let me see if I can see it on my computer. So they are going to start tomorrow at 8 o'clock. So I might change the time for me at like 9:30. Just because they're starting at 8 and they're an hour ahead. So that would be 9 my time. I don't know, maybe I might leave at 10 or just go to 10. So that way I can get my stuff done in the morning. All right. Well, anyways, y'all have a good night. Stay safe. And I will see you in the morning. Thank you for being here. Bye-bye. Oh, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe also. I forgot I don't have an outro video. Oh. All right. See you in the morning.